बहुत अच्छी मालूम
So,
है।
हाँ,
हाँ, oh, that's it.
शुरू करिए।
वाह वाह।
वाह 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 क्या बात है।
एक हाथी की वजह से सब साथी बन गए।
He made us sit in such a weird way. Like Trisha had to sit like this, turn like this, look like this. I had to sit like this, turn like this, look like this. Ravi was doing something like this, and then Trisha was like, "Sir, can I?" No, you have to do only that. So we were like that and doing our dialogue, and like, whoa, really, when we finished, we all got up like in a very weird way and like,
Yeah, we were in
They
pain.
were
I
like
think.
the from the Planet of the Apes.
शुरू करिए।
वाह वाह वाह, क्या बात है। शुरू करिए, शुरुआत में ही जो है
बता दीजिए
जी। और इससे अच्छी ओपनिंग तो हो ही नहीं सकती। आई वॉज टोल्ड इट हैज टू बी इन प्रॉपर इंग्लिश, बट आपने स्टार्टिंग में ही जो बता दीजिए और कर दीजिए
नहीं,
कर
हिंदी
दिया
बहुत
है।
अच्छी मालूम
So,
है।
हाँ,
हाँ, oh, that's it.
You had it.
ओके, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल ट्रेलर इज लुकिंग फैब,
Thank you.
मतलब वेरी ग्रैंड,
Thank you.
मतलब बट आफ्टर अ लॉन्ग टाइम यू नो वी आर एक्सपेक्टिंग समथिंग बिग, एंड
Thank
बिग मीन्स लिटरली बिग, एंड दिस फ्रेम इज itself very big. So sir, first of all, what is the meaning of Ponniyin Selvam?
Ponniyin Selvan.
Yeah.
Ponni is the river Kaveri. That's another name for that. And Selvan is son. So I think, he as a child, he almost not as a child. He
as a
was
child.
broken. As a child, when you
I fell in the river.
yeah, he fell in the river and he's saved by someone.
The river goddess.
Who's the river goddess? So that's Ponni. So Ponni's son. So he was conferred that title. Ponniyin Selvan. And this story is about mainly him and what happens around him.
And this comes from a novel actually. This is a novel which was written in 50s as a series and then it published in 55. And ever since, the stalwarts of Tamil cinema have been wanting to make it into a film. It's an adventure. It's got
Five
fantastic
volumes.
characters.
Yeah.
And they always wanted to make it into a movie. And finally, even Mani sir tried for 40 years and finally he's achieved it. So there's a lot of legacy behind
40
the
years.
story itself, you know, yeah.
Even he tried for 40 years.
So there's a lot of legacy behind the story. So Ponniyin Selvan, it's like a cult name where everybody knows, like how a Mahabharata or a Ramayana is. Ponniyin Selvan has that kind of a following and that kind of a respect.
I asked because it's very important, so everyone should know
Yeah.
Yes.
what is the actual meaning.
Yeah.
Because you know, on Google, we get
Yeah.
many versions
And
of
also
everything.
PS1 is actually a game.
Yes.
But we are all hoping with all our acting and what Mani sir has done that soon that'll become PS1 is Ponniyin Selvan.
Yeah. You fell in river, so in real life you fell somewhere?
He fell in love with somebody.
Wow, 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 क्या बात है.
Please elaborate.
That he'll elaborate.
Please.
No, yeah, I've fallen many times when I was young, and after.
And he continued?
Intentionally, I fell when I got older. That is different. But I love swimming, and more than the river, I used to have my swimming lessons. So my master trainer, he used to push me. I would say, I will never go. I'll never leave this rail and go. Kick me or push me or do something, and that's how you learn also.
Yeah.
So.
No, you're talking about the river or the love? I'm getting confused.
What did you say
That's
silently
all.
to him?
I didn't say anything to him. I said,
Please, you should say
did I tell
He
you?
is on fire.
But I didn't say
Before the release, he is on fire.
No, but did I say anything? He said I said something silently to you to ask him. Did I say that?
No, no.
He's asking Ponniyin Selvan, did you fall in the river?
Yeah.
Why are you talking about love and other things? No, he said about falling in the river. You know what he said? About falling in love, he said initially I fell as a kid. I fell in
So
love
what
many
are we
times.
talking about now?
That's what I'm asking.
Oh, I love
That's what I'm asking him.
So
So he said.
I thought-
So he said initially I didn't, but later I started falling intentionally into love. Okay.
Into river.
Into the river, not love. How can
You have fallen in the trap of Vikram sir.
He asked you. He asked you. Did you? Okay. Sorry.
Okay. Sir, budget is being talked about a lot.
Yeah.
मतलब so much money. So कहाँ लगाया आपने इतना
Let's
पैसा?
call
इसमें?
Laika.
See, this is like
Subhash
this is
Karan's
it's Subhash Karan's movie. It's Laika's movie, and you need a producer like that for something like this, which has got like so many actors, and all of them have such huge roles. And I mean, see, all the jewelry, which is, I mean, is real gold, real diamonds, and all the leather and everything. It's nothing is make believe. And even the sets, everything was like the number of horses. So we needed a production like that. That's what we've done. But what I would like to emphasize is this movie is beyond that. It's not about the scale of the movie. It's about, I think, the scale of the content, the scale of the characterizations, and the emotions that go through this. And you can also think it's a war film and it's war. It is a war film, but it's more about love. It's about love and its idiosyncrasies, what happens with that love, and how each of us has a different love in the movie. It's not like different. You could love something else or some other woman or a married woman, or there's so many things in it, and what could happen because of that. All the convolutions of love that comes in this movie, and I think that is what it is.
That
So
time also-
and that you see with war, and you see it on a scale and blah blah blah. So we have to say thanks to Mr. Subhashkaran and Manisa for having us in such a lavish presentation, which could actually ask you to ask that question.
Yeah, you were saying something.
No, I was just saying that, the amount of money that's spent on it, you will see everything on screen. No, it's not paid to people, but rather it's spent on screen. And so I was saying, that there's been no reference to 1,000th century life in India. But now we have a reference to it. And to bring it on screen, the amount of work that has gone into spending that money, right? For like 2 years of pre-production. Just the money. It's about the amount of work that's been into it to spend that money and get it right on screen. And that's what is to be more spoken about. Like, for example, technically the aspects of from camera to music. Like Rahman sir went to Bali to do research on this. So all that money is spent completely for what you're going to see on screen.
Trisha, you wore the heaviest costumes or these shurveers, these warriors?
All of us.
All of us.
All of us.
But she wore the heaviest. I mean,
But actually, I can ask an interesting question. Do you want it after getting wet or before getting wet? Depending on that, we can answer.
because
As, before and after both?
after wet would be him and him, because once it soaks, it becomes really heavy.
How many
But-
kgs?
Heavier,
lot.
I think, was them, to be very honest,
Very?
because of
25
armor and
kgs.
stuff.
25.
No, but we think of headgear. Trisha is the heaviest. You can see her head and you'll know. Where is she? See
She's
this?
got a lot of headweight.
So she's got a lot of headweight. You couldn't control her after that. But the other person would have been him if he wears the crown. But thank God you didn't get to wear it, no?
The turban was as heavy as,
As heavy. But I don't think you can match
and they
Trisha's.
tie it tightly,
Adipana,
so you can't
yeah.
even
No,
think.
that was that was quite a bit, because I held it and saw it. Yeah, that was quite a bit. Yeah.
They tie it like that. It
Yeah,
shouldn't
to
fall.
make
The
sure it
fight
doesn't-
sequence.
Oh,
all
yeah.
that
So
shouldn't
both of
fall.
them would say.
So how difficult was it in these heavy costumes when you have to perform?
Yeah, but we had a few costume trials. We just had that. Somehow we managed during the trials. We lift our leg and see this and that and wherever. That armor is the problem. It has to be stiff, and it'll tear you, cut you, and with that you can't even hold the sword together. The hands,
You can't bring your hands together.
You also had the same armor.
Yeah,
so
and it's irritating because you get hurt more with your armor than with your enemies. It'll be just a miss and you'll have one thing here. And then, you're trying to miss and you cut yours. My hands, I used to be constantly, my wife used to be suspicious when I got home. What are those marks in your body? Like, it's like that. It's all the time.
And riding the horse on top of it.
And
People who have not ridden a horse would always think it's like a bike or a scooter. You sit on it and it'll go. No, it's not like that. The horse has its own moods. And with this armor, it becomes like 10 times difficult to ride a horse.
Who got the maximum injuries?
He, I think, fell from the horse, so I would give him the credit.
You fell from the horse?
Yeah, we were waiting for him to fall from the elephant.
I didn't want to fall. The horse. That would have been a bad fall. The horse threw me off. So
Okay, in the trailer you have that shot of him riding, that wide shot. When the shot was done, he was not on the horse.
So what happened?
And what
after
was sweet is, he came back and he asked, is the horse okay?
Oh, so sweet.
So,
What happened to you after that?
it was a very, very interesting, very fine, beautiful morning.
started out that way.
Suddenly, Manisa wanted to do a sunrise shot, horse riding shot of this warrior on the horse. And I came there, I was getting dressed up, I had this armor, and I was seeing somebody was thrown off a horse. And I was asking what happened. No, that's the horse you're going to ride, that's the horse rider, the owner which it threw off. So the horse was in a very bad mood that morning. And I was like, maybe we can try it in the evening, or maybe
we
next
can
day.
try another horse.
And they said, we don't have time, get on the horse, get on the horse.
horse doesn't have time.
The moment I got on the horse took off. And there were like already 3-4 cameras. I knew this horse was going to do something funny, but I couldn't say it because camera was rolling. There are 5-6 cameras on
And
happening.
the horse didn't know English, Tamil or Hindi.
You can't communicate. Suddenly it took off on the left side. See, normally when you ride a horse, you have to check the terrain. Without knowing the terrain, you shouldn't ride it. There was a huge crater. The moment the horse went into the crater, it just threw me off. Somehow I had the presence of mind to hold on to the rein. I was holding on to it until it stopped. The moment it stopped, I knew it's going to kick me off, and I left and rolled away. So I think that somewhere, some God's blessing.
That you didn't.
I
You know what is the
didn't break
worst thing that
anything.
can happen when you're riding? You have to keep your stirrup at the edge. So they always say, and you don't keep your leg. You keep your leg like this, so it slips out if the horse stops. But you don't keep your leg properly. When you're riding, it comes off, and then you fall off again. And if the horse stops, you go forward. So you have to lean back. You keep your leg down like this. But the thing is, sometimes to get more grip, you put your leg a little more inside. And then if you fall and you get caught on one leg, you go under the horse's leg, and you can go for miles on until he tires.
get seriously
You can die. You know, it's like that. So he was lucky to actually.
But after the horse threw me, you know, it kicked the camera, the speakers and everything. So I was really worried if the horse is okay. It was kicking at metal, you know, and rocks, and just went mad everywhere.
Gosh.
Trisha, you were telling me something on the sets. Some Lavi or Kathi role thing happened.
Ravi or Kati?
Karthi, no, I was not part of that schedule. I think he would.
Their names.
He would.
Thailand.
Tell us those names.
Karthi, he's a favorite for all the
Oh my God.
Thailand girls.
Then
The crew. No, he is very sweet with them. We all are sweet, but he's
Only with those girls?
no.
everybody.
They are
More sweeter with those.
Yeah.
they're like young girls, kutti girls.
Oh,
you know?
okay.
So it is like they call him. They can't pronounce R that much, so they say Karthi is Karthi-san. Karthi-san. And I am Ravi, so it is Lavi-san.
So they don't get the R.
So
So it
sweet.
becomes Lavi, sir. I said, who are they calling?
Like chicken lice. You want chicken lice, Lavisa? Chicken lice, Kati
But they're so warm, you know. They took care of all
What
of us.
hardworking people! Oh my God.
Trisha, any special training which you took for this film?
The whole
We'll be
film felt
seeing
like I
some-
was training throughout. So in terms of, I wouldn't call it, I mean, training for the role. See, of course, we were not part of the war sequences and stuff like that. But initially, Karthi and I were supposed to have a song on the horse. So even I ended up learning horse riding, which I was really happy about because it was my first attempt at it. And we had a lot of prep. So there was training to getting into the role, like in terms of hair, makeup, costume trials and stuff like that. So that was like I've said this before, there was a step 1 to step 100 into getting into character. So we had like a good 6 months to prep for it. So dialogues, yes, because you know, this is like very pure, the language is very pure, right? Because it's set back in that era. So we had a lot of training for the dialogues, and for me, I'm a bit of a language bimbo. I mean, I take a while to understand languages and speak it. So that part was something I had to work a little extra hard on. But I mean, it was fun because we had time for it. It was not like Manisa would just give me the dialogues on set. I had already rehearsed, already learned it. So it was fun.
Yeah,
Same there. So there, the thing is, in the equestrian, they'll say trot, walk, and it goes through a process. There's no galloping. You don't gallop. You don't go up on the horse because it's dangerous. But here, the only thing they do is make you do is gallop. The moment you come here, and the horse doesn't know anything. There are no rules. Like there, you don't pull the bit. You don't, and you hold it light. This is the way you hold it, and no sticks. And even if they give you one small stick, they say it's not for hitting the horse. You just rub it. And it starts moving. So even giving you the stick, they'll come near you and the horse is not looking, they give it to you like that. That's how. Here they'll come waving spears and gloves. So I was terrified, like what's going to happen? And I've had an accident, so I can't afford to fall. I can break my leg again. I was really terrified. And the other thing is this horse only understands action. And that's the camera and you run to it. Or you run wherever. So that was a problem. So you can't go and say, okay, now I want to trot. Now I want to, you rub it slowly with your heel and make it move. And then little more it goes. Then you give a little twitch and then it goes, no. Action and it runs. And like a lot of shots, I like to hold it back because, and our horses, what happened is, quickly they start understanding. So I tell Manisa, please don't say action, yaar. Why don't? Because he'll say, okay, no action. Camera! Only this one. All of the like three were getting excited.
Horses are better
Then they were like, ready, camera!
Horses are better
And I'm saying, sir, please, sir, don't. Okay. Camera, Varlam. He's saying Varlam. So the horse, after the second take, Varlam, and he says, sir, don't say anything. Please don't say anything.
Good, they know what to do.
Okay, it's that. Then I said, sir, cut the mics, please. No, please don't. Can some guy stand there and then you stand here and see, like, we were passing messages, like in their times, they'll from one fort to another, they'll show. You stand there, so from there, one guy will say, and then the horse, we were making sure horse doesn't see this. Then we did. Literally, we couldn't, it's so difficult, so dangerous, and I heard he fell down. I panicked, and then they had war sequences where they charge at each other.
it's very
You don't know. See, the problem is when you have 100 guys riding behind you, you fall. If you can avoid your horse's feet, what about all of them? And if Ravi's elephant is somewhere there, then you don't watch the film.
It's like a Formula car race, no?
Yeah. And,
Tell me the elephant is running.
and if his elephant is there, you don't get to see Ponniyin Selvan. We still haven't watched. Right? So for us, we want to be in that film, see ourselves in that frame. So it was scary.
So thanks to the elephant that
Yeah.
we are seeing Ponniyin Selvan.
Yes.
Yeah, that is true.
एक हाथी की वजह से because of one elephant, Ponniyin Selvan is being
Seen
made.
by the
So उसमें-
actors.
एक हाथी की वजह से सब साथी बन गए.
हाथी मेरे साथी, पोनियम सेल्वम का हाथी मेरे साथी कनेक्शन. सी क्या आपने हिंदी में एकदम कमाल की हेडलाइन दे दी ना.
अब बात ही बहुत अच्छा है.
अच्छा, now you are confident कि you can ride a
Yeah.
horse or girlfriend को बैठा
He can ride a horse reverse now.
Reverse gear and he'll go back.
नहीं, you can ride an elephant or horse.
Both I can ride, but mostly, I don't fight with it. I don't try to control it.
Surrender.
I surrender.
He
to
went and
it.
fell at his feet.
Yeah, that's all. You go wherever you want. You want, I'll say go right. Wants to go left. Okay, no problem. I don't mind.
You move the camera.
Yeah, please. So
But
we
you know,
were
like
friends.
Manish always said, no, he wanted to shoot like how the Western cowboy films you've seen. Whenever we see riders going far away in full speed, Yeah, he said, I've always wanted to do that. I think he did all that in this film. None of us could cheat. You have to really ride a horse and you have to get it right. And like Sir said, in war sequences, when the horses are coming in opposite directions, you have to be extremely careful.
And dust, it goes up. You can't see it.
And Manish sir has used very little CG in this film, very little visual effects. So most of it is done on location as live as possible. Like how you've seen 90s action films of Hollywood films. We really wanted to get that real, action in that. So you have to be like a sportsman to do this film.
And it's also contagious. Like after a point, though we were terrified, after a point we look at each other that Dupe will go very fast. He'll be going so fast, we said, we have to go this fast. But we realized once a shot is taken, we'll be going faster than him because we want to be part of this and we want to do it well, After a point, it becomes like that. When we got down, that guy will come and say, why did you go so fast? You were faster than you could have controlled it. No, it's okay, it's okay.
It's nice, we are enjoying it.
But when it is not needed, Mani sir took care of us. We had animatronics and everything, safety shots, emotional.
But that was very rare. That
For
was very
close-ups,
rare.
very, very
Maybe the
rare.
close-ups, come on, Ravi.
How's
Don't give him credit.
Mani sir? Is a tough taskmaster.
Yeah.
You didn't know that?
No, I'm asking you.
Oh, he is.
Very.
Completely.
With me, he is fine.
अच्छा,
See, he has a vision.
He is being very humble.
you say?
He want to have the next film also. Na,
I'll tell you one thing. I already have the next film. PS2 में भी है.
PS2 के बाद PS2 तो हम सबको पता
That's
है.
third film. Say it like that then. No. If Mani sir wants to, he will call
See,
you.
the problem with him is, or the good thing about him is, he wants to be different. He wants to keep making films different. Even our locations, you will find different locations in every film of his, not because they are different. It's because he takes the trouble to go search for something which cannot be accessed by anybody else, which is why it's not been shot, not because it's not a good location. Like for Ravan and Malsej Ghats and all, nobody goes in. There was a dam going to be built. We used to go, get up, go in a car. And we used to stay, mind you, we're not even staying in a lodge. We had a yoga center made into a hotel and that's rooms and that's where we stayed. Then from there we'll go in a car for 2.5 hours, get down, go in a jeep for another half an hour and then get down and walk for 15 minutes before you come to the location, which is why it's not seen.
But he'll start shooting at 6 o'clock in
Yeah,
the
at
morning.
6 o'clock in the morning. So, which means he is a tough taskmaster.
अच्छा sir, what we have seen in the trailer, the war scenes, the grandness, we have seen some of it earlier also. So, what is PS1 offering us which is new, or you can say, what is the USP? This everybody wants to know, and I want to ask this question. आप सब इसको अगर थोड़ा सा अपने तरीके से elaborate करेंगे.
The content is different. That's
I think Sir will
Yeah, the
say it
content,
very
no,
nicely.
that's what she's saying. The content is something that's very unique. I've already said that. No, it's not about the grandiosity. It's not about the war. It's like what is there, the machinations of human characteristics with different people. Like how do you relate? What is the dynamics? That is so beautiful, and it's something that was written like 1954, 55, and every week this was coming out, and people used to go and wait at the bookstores to get it. Like, okay, is it out already? And read it and wait and see what is he going to do next? What's going to happen next? What happened to him? Did he die? Every week it was that, and this happened 70 years ago, and to the extent that why has everybody wanted to make this film? There's so many subjects, you can just let go, but everybody was dying, from MJR to Kamal sir to Mani sir again, and they tried and tried and tried, and we're doing it. It's because of the subject. I think that is the most important thing about this movie. Apart from the fabulous actors in it, and especially the four sitting here right now, which I don't want to say, but
Any incident from the set which will remain as a memory forever? Anything which has happened apart from those?
The fact that we're doing this together, because I don't know if we would do a multi-starrer had it not been for this film. That by itself is a memory, because we've never, at least I haven't been part of a multi-starrer. And unless it's a Manisa, I don't think maybe we would also.
I think the amount of action we did, I think that I would always remember. I think we had fantastic action being shot on set, and doing action together. You know, that was something else. Like, we've only witnessed in screens, and now we are getting to do it something. You know, we've seen all these making of the films of great epics all over the world. Now we are doing something in our country, something which I like action. So
Vikram sir used to pull your legs like this only?
Of course.
of course,
no, I'm very serious.
That was the question.
I do that.
But he also used to, correct our hair and, the tilak and everything. He takes care of us, of course. But for me, I think I'm relearning what cinema is. That's my experience. That cinema is a team effort. As Karthi said, how many people were there, how many caravans, how many horses, this and that and that. And we unite as a single entity. From start to cut of that particular shot, we all unite. Somehow there is this connection. I think I'll never forget that connection.
Yeah. For me, it was the part I hated the most. The riding became something very special, and I couldn't do enough of it. I wanted to do more. I loved my horse because of the hair and the way he had this very lovely gait. So that one thing which I was constantly wanting to ride and do a shot. Will there be a horse shot today? That was like that. The other thing was I was thrown into the deep end. The first scene I did was that scene Ravi was talking about, earlier, where it's the siblings together. It was a very difficult shot to compose, and Manisa, I love his craft. That I felt was very special because we look very different, and I paired up with her, so obviously I can't be a brother. But when that shot was done, everybody was saying, you guys actually look alike. And I was saying, really? Three of us? Yeah, you look like brother and sister. Come on, don't pull my leg. No, seriously. Then I realized, asked Manisa, why do you think? Idiot, that's why I kept that shot that way. The way you all are sitting.
Yeah.
He made us sit in such a weird way. Like, Trisha had to sit like this, turn like this, look like this. I had to sit like this, turn like this, look like this. Ravi was doing something like this. And then Trisha was saying, sir, can I? No, you had to do only that. So we were like that and doing our dialogues. And like, whoa, really, when we finished, we all got up like in a very weird way. And like,
Yeah, we were in pain.
they were like the men from the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, we were all like
walking
that.
out of the set,
We
and I
were
was
all
sitting and watching what happened to them.
the lucky fellow, he was out. But that shot was so memorable, and you realize, man, who is this guy? Why is he like this? How is he thinking this? That is something, and that, pertains to almost everything he's done in the film. That hit me because that's the first time. So I think I'll take that back with me.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Lovely talking to you guys.
Lovely talking to you. I must tell you that this is the first time all of us have interacted like this. Normally it'll be him talking, her talking, and we may say a word in between. Now we were all talking, and
That's
thank
my
you.
art.
That's your
You're doing a great job.
doing a great job.
Thank you so much. All are very cute.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And
Cute.
wish you all the very best.
You actually call the three of us cute. He wants to tell you cute, so he's making it soft.
PS1 does those wonders which we are missing since a long time. We are also expecting cinema
Also
to
keeping
do
our fingers,
very
eyes
well.
closed.
And इसके बाद PS2 आएगी, then also we'll have.
Definitely.
course.
We will,
Love
yes.
to.
Look forward to having her.
Thank you so much.
Longer
Thank you
one
so
next time.
much.
Yeah.